A Redarin is a warrior whose duty is first to the tribunal, second to House Redarin, and third to family and clan. This is where the flaw resides, at least within the Relith family. Councillor Eris places his duty to the house before his duty to his family, and as a result, he finds himself with an exiled son and a runaway daughter. Sometimes thinking in such absolutes as these house sayings is just daft, and does more harm than good. Naru mentioned that she would find me when a meeting would be arranged, so I better stick about Balmora for a time to ensure she is able to find me. Huh. It seems Asher has come to pay us a little visit.
Well, look at that. Now you said I'd find you here, and damn it all if she wasn't right.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want to be hard to find, now would I? Playing messenger again, are we?
Did I mention how much I hate being a messenger? Makes me wish I had a writ so I could kill something. Anyway, Nayu wants to talk to you. Said you'd know what it was all about.
Hopefully for your sake, this will be the last time you need to deliver any messages on behalf of Naru or Veya. Where is it that I need to go to find Naru?
Here. This should explain everything, sort of. It's a map. We change locations every other day for security reasons, just in case it falls into the hands of House Redarin or someone else with an axe to grind with our organization.
Oh, quite clever. No wonder everyone states that you don't find the Morag Tong. This parchment looks a bit vague. You sure this is a map?
Never had to use a map before. Amateurs. This one leads to a key to one of our safe houses, and another map. The first map, it depicts a particular town. Kind of like this one. Hint, hint. The rest? Well, you'll have to figure that out on your own.
Bit of cheat to you today, I see. No matter. I will decipher the map.
Look, I know you're helping Councillor Eris, but if that map falls into House Redarin hands, I'll probably have to kill you. Nothing personal, mind you. We're already having a bit of trouble with the house, and we'd rather not make matters worse.
Understandable. Although I won't be giving you the pleasure. Until next time, Asher. Alright, let's take a closer look at this map. That's the same docking area where we spoke with the spooked Khajiit a few nights past. So I should be finding this key down there someplace. Here we are. Now, let's see. Where could this key possibly be? Perhaps in some of the crates that are just left about. Here, let's check this one. No, I don't see any key in here. Better keep looking. Perhaps this crate right next to the water. No, nothing here either. Just some cabbages. No matter. Let's keep looking. Perhaps this crate. Ah, here we are. Tucked underneath some bottles. Looks like a rusty old key. And another one of these maps. Alright, let's take a look at this map now. We should be searching down some alleyway behind a really large tree. That building looks very familiar. Sort of like the one near the western gate of Balmora. I better start there.
What?
Who put a Nyx Hound in his trousers? Okay, here was the western gate. Yes, definitely similar to the picture sketched on this parchment. Down the alleyway we go. Best do it at a walk. If this is an entrance to a Morag Tong hideout, I'm sure they would frown upon having Redabin's shoulders barging in behind me. And by frown, I mean plunge a dagger in my gut. What have we here? Looks to be some abandoned looking entrance to a cellar here with a lock on it. Let's give this key a go. Wouldn't put it past Asher to pull a fast one. Ah, there we are. Ah, Naru. I finally get to put a face to the name. Quite the impressive base of operation you have here. Not to mention the secretive runabout Asher gave me just to get here.
Sorry about all the subterfuge, but we can't be too careful when it comes to security around here.
Certainly is quite effective, I must say. So, is Veya here? Is she willing to meet?
Don't be so eager, my darling. It reveals too much about your ultimate intentions. But yes, Veya would very much like to meet with you. You intrigue her, and your connection to her father could prove beneficial once she knows she can trust you.
Fair enough. Wouldn't expect her to blindly trust a stranger, especially when she is trying so hard to stay in the shadows. What does she require of me to gain her trust?
Redwin records. House officials keep track of everything. Incidents, commendations, births and deaths. Whether important or mundane, they detail it all in their registry. Veya believes the registry contains information about her brother Ulron.
So, just so I understand this correctly, Veya would like me to break in and steal House Redabin's registry. And here I thought it was going to be a hard task.
Don't sound so offended. You had to know your hands were going to get dirty eventually. You are dealing with assassins and politicians, after all. The local keeper of records, Lord Drono, is away, so security at his townhouse should be light.
Oh, believe me, I knew that from the start. Very well. I will track down the townhouse and get my hands on the records about Ulron. I shall return.
You can find Lord Drono's townhouse right here in Balmora. He's away on business, but that doesn't mean you don't have to be careful. Just get in, get the registry, and get back out again. I'll be here, anxiously awaiting your return.
Alright, now to find this townhouse. Perhaps if I speak to one of the guards, they could point me in the right direction. No, that would be daft. If Lord Drono or his guards discovered that the home has been broken into, I would be the primary suspect. Better ask someone else. Perhaps this fisherman here might know. I'm sure they see all the comings and goings around town. Pardon me, I'm looking for a certain Lord Drono. Have a need to deliver some information to him. Do you know where I might find his flat?
Lord Drono. Lord Drono. Ah, yes, I know the mer. His home is just over the canal there, the one on the right.
Perfect. You have my thanks. Good luck with your fishing. May Vivek bless your casts. Better not draw any attention to myself as I approach. I probably stick out already as it is, what with being an outlander and also helping Councillor S. There is one guard posted there on the lower entrance, but I don't see anyone up top. Assuming that there is no one patrolling the alleyway, I should be able to take the stairs without being seen. Oh good, not a soul in sight. Right, simple lock. Shouldn't be a problem to pick. Just need to be quick about it, as I'm not exactly discreet up here in the open. Buffek, security lacks. There's a guard right here inside. Better be quick about it, as they just had their attention drawn. There's another guard there. Better keep moving before they patrol back. The study should be further downstairs. One more in the room below. This one is going to require some finesse. There, now's my chance. This looks to be the registry here. I better wait till I'm outside before I try to read its contents, rather not risk alerting the guards. Perfect, that was close. Oh, there's a handmaiden as well. Good. She walked off. Need to head back up the stairs. Come on, come on. Bugger off, God. Finally, now let's get the hell out of this place. To be safe, I better go somewhere away from the eyes of others before I bring out what I have found. Ah, the storage alley should do. Now, let me take a closer look at this registry, see what I can find. Commendation, Sergeant Irileth, for actions beyond the call of duty during the recent Daedra intrusion at Kwama Mine B-37. Important note, the Nords have sent a representative for the cultural exchange to facilitate fellowship and understanding between our people. Please provide Ambassador Rigard every possible courtesy in this endeavor, no matter how odd his behavior may seem. The following members of the House Guard have completed officer training: Freya, Drothasi, Rivame, and Baryan. Lena Darvel, recent graduate of the Shad Astula Academy, has been assigned to the Redoran Investigation Commission. She's bright and talented and will make a great addition to our intelligent gathering organization. We should be wary of her wild tales of exploding shadow clucks, however, just as a precaution. Exile. Oh, here we go. For conduct unbecoming of a Redoran officer and noble, by order of the Redoran High Council, Captain Uran Relith has been stripped of his rank and exiled from House Redoran and Tribunal territory. Brivan Malram has been promoted to captain of our western forces in light of the recent dismissal of Uran Relith. How convenient. Ashlander Incidents. Incidents continue to mount concerning Ashlander unrest amongst the tribes occupying the wilderness beyond Balmora. Captain Briven has hired the mercenary band known as Feharas Warclaws to assist the Redoran military as necessary. Intriguing. Briven got his promotion just after Oron's exile went into effect. Wonder if there was foul play involved here. Apart from that, I don't see much else from this. Hopefully Naru will be able to make something more from this information in the registry.
I can't believe Lord Vivek wouldn't see worshippers today.
He's a living god. I'm sure he was just busy. We should have waited longer.
I know, but we're not getting any younger.
We'll have a chance to see him again. Vivek City isn't that far away, you know?
Growing concern from the citizens of Ardenfell around Vivek. I do need to gather all the information Tarvis requested soon. Hopefully this business in Balmora will finish up as quickly as possible. I have returned, Naru.
Still alive, I see. And since you're here, that means you weren't captured and hauled off to a Redoran dungeon. Good for you. Were you able to acquire the registry? And does it contain any information about Veya's brother, Ulran?
It wasn't easy, but I do pride myself in my abilities to be unseen. The book did have an entry about Ulran being stripped of his rank and being exiled from Redoran and Tribunal lands.
Ulran was exiled? That can't be right. He's an exemplary officer and a good man. Plus, he's the son of a counselor. Why in oblivion would House Redoran banish one of their brightest stars?
Haven't a clue. That's what was transcribed here in the registry. Look, right here.
I can see that. There has to be more to the story, but I'm not sure how we get it. Still, you proved you could be trusted, and you admirably performed this task. So I suppose I should let you meet with Veya now.
Perfect. Where might I find Veya?
There's an abandoned cave along the coast. It's in the swamp and smells like rot, which makes it the perfect place to hide. Veya's supposed to wait inside, but she's bored. I know she's been sneaking out. You'll find her in the cave or just outside.
I wouldn't blame her. That sounds like an atrocious place to be. Nevertheless, I will head that way and find her.
Get to the swamp and find Veya. She's eager for any information about her brother, so she's really going to appreciate getting that registry. Just try not to be too charming when you meet her hero. She has enough distractions as it is.
Thank you? I do believe that was a compliment. I do have to ask, why would Veya choose to hide in a rot-infested cave, instead of the comforts this safe house provides?
Veya would face too many temptations here in Balmora. Friends, favorite places, familiar sights and sounds, not to mention the proximity to all things House Redoran. Even the most thick-headed house guard would eventually stumble over her.
Well, you have my thanks for allowing me the comforts of this location at least.
Oh, don't thank me, hero. As long as you're useful and don't betray us, then we're engaged in a mutually beneficial arrangement. Cross us in any way, however, and you'll never see my blade before it plunges into your heart.
Duly noted. You have my word. I know you and Veya share a bond of sorts, but how well do you know Ulran?
Well enough. Ulran and Veya used to sneak out to watch me train. I have a way with blades that fascinated them to no end. Eventually, our fondness developed between the three of us. And to think, I never even had a nick sound growing up.
Wouldn't having any sort of personal relationship interfere with your duties to the Morag Tong?
It's not like personal relationships are against the rules, though I suppose they are sort of frowned upon. Anyway, my assignments always brought me back to Vardenfell, so we were able to keep in touch and visit even as they grew older.
From your relationship with Ulran, do you think he's as capable of anything that would have granted him such a harsh judgment as exile?
Anything's possible, but the Ulran I know holds honor above all else. I can't believe he'd do something so dishonorable that the house leaders would demand his exile. We need to find out more about what happened.
Indeed. Let me get this registry out to Veya and see what she can make of it. See you soon, Naru. Enjoying that bread, I see. Finally, the opportunity to find and meet with Veya. Should be simple enough tracking her down, especially seeing that the Redoran guards are still hunting aimlessly around the city. I think I will cut through the swamp here, and search further north of Balmora for this cave. Pretty sure it would be close by, as Naru would probably frequent this cave more often than not. Ah, here's a path. We can take this up north. What have we here? That looks like Captain Brivin, but who are the others?
And you're sure it's Veya? House Redoran isn't emptying its coffers so you can chase your own tails out here.
You pay the war claws well, because the war claws are the best there is. We have the kitten scent. It's just a matter of time before my warriors catch her.
Of course, Ferhara. Just make sure she doesn't get out of the swamp. I'll take my soldiers and guard the eastern paths, in case she eludes your warriors again.
Warclaws. That was the name of the mercenary group that Captain Brivin hired, the one mentioned in the registry. By the sounds of it, they know that Veya is here in the swamp. Wonder how they managed to track her down. Perhaps this group of mercenaries are quite good at their tracking skills, probably due to them being Khajiit. Better go have a word with Brivin and see what he has uncovered about Veya's whereabouts. Fancy seeing you out here, Captain Brivin.
Ah, the Counselor's lackey. I understand you've made significant progress in your search for Veya. As a matter of fact, so have we. This whole ordeal will be over soon, and then you can be on your way, Outlander.
Glad to hear of your progress, Captain. I'm certain Counselor Eris will be pleased as well. Over, you say? That must mean...
My mercenaries have spotted Veya skulking about the northern portion of the swamp. Between my soldiers and Ferhara's warclaws, the Counselor's daughter will soon be home safe and sound.
Sounds as if you finally have some competent help aiding your efforts. Shame it took more of the house funds filling non-Redoran mercenaries' purses in order to get this results. During my search for Veya, I've heard some interesting happenings around a certain captain that preceded you, Ulron. What do you know about his exile?
Veya's brother. It's a sad story. Killed one of his own soldiers to protect an Ashlander of all things. I think they were being too lenient when they simply exiled him. But that's how they treat the privileged few.
Hang on. Ulron killed one of his own soldiers to protect an Ashlander. Intriguing. Bit unorthodox.
Ulron always had an unnatural attraction to the Ashlanders and their savage ways. He felt that an Ashlander life was worth more than a Redoran life. The Council didn't agree with his assessment. This will all be over as soon as Ferhara finds Veya.
And what about these mercenaries you have hired?
Khajiit mercenaries of the highest order. For members of a lesser race, Ferhara's warriors are surprisingly effective. I employ them to bolster our forces. Between obligations to the Pact and other matters, House Redoran is spread thin of late.
I can imagine. While I am sure you and these Warclaws will perform your duties admirably, Counselor Eris did hire me to find his daughter, and I am never one to go against my word.
As you say, Ferhara's Warclaws take their contract as seriously as you do, however. Get in their way, and I can't guarantee your safety.
I'll keep that in mind, as I hope they do as well.
Ferhara assumes the Counselor's minions will not present a problem for the war claws. Yes, Captain?
The Outlanders have been warned, Ferhara. I leave everything else to your discretion.
That Brivin certainly has developed a bit of cheek to him since our last speaking. Wonder what has gotten him so brash. One thing is for certain, these mercenaries pose a problem for Veya and Nairu, and even the Morag Tong for that matter. Brivin mentioned that they spotted Veya in the northern area of the swamps, so that's just where I will have to go. Better make haste, as it is crucial that I find Veya before these Warclaws do. I can't shake this feeling that I'm being watched. Wait, what was that? They certainly weren't just standing there a moment ago. Now, I know you aren't raising your blades at me. Oh, you are. Have it your way then. Looks like my suspicions have been confirmed about these war claws and their hostility. If the actions of that one Khajiit speaks for all, I'd say they would very much prefer that Veya wasn't found by me. Better keep my guard up point forward. I seriously doubt that they would be foolish enough to only send one ambush to prevent my progress. By the three. Alright, meet your fate as well. Well, I do know one thing. I must be getting close. There, up ahead. What in oblivion is she doing standing out in the open? Let's just see how keen her senses are.
Stupid war claws. Now I know how a mouse feels.
I do know one thing. A mouse would probably scurry away and hide.
By the three! You really shouldn't sneak up on a person like that. If you're working with those mercenaries, I assure you, you won't take me without a fight.
Relax, no need to jump to hostilities. The mercenaries already bring enough of that. I've been working with Naru to find out more information about your brother, Uran.
Oh, right. Naru, you mentioned something about that. Look, I can't wait to hear what you learned. But the swamp is crawling with mercenaries. There's a cave to the northeast. We can talk there.
So I have seen. Even had a few try to catch me off guard. Too less to worry about, at least. Very well. Lead the way and I'll follow.
Unfortunately, there's a mob of those beast people between here and the cave. I was going to try and sneak past them, but every time I get too close, I think one of them catches my scent.
Well, that would explain why they have been able to track you down. No matter. I can make quick work of them. Make for the cave and I will handle the mercenaries.
You're going to tackle that mob of fur and claws? I'm impressed. Meet me at the cave when you're finished. I think we have a lot to talk about. Oh, try not to get killed. I really want to know what you came all this way to tell me.
Oh, believe me, I have no intention on joining my ancestors just yet. Go on ahead once I engage them. I'll catch up.
Meet me in the cave to the north when you finish with the mercenaries.
I can smell the dark elf kitten. Looks like we're the first ones here.
Looks to be 3. At least 3 that aren't hiding in the shadows. Nothing a little surprise blade work can't fix. Better start with the staff wielder. No need for them healing the wounds I inflict.
Warclaws! Let's flay this outsider!
As I thought, damn sneaky beasts. Veya, you must be joking, damn dreg. I'm a little busy at the moment. I love a good challenge as much as the next Mer, but to oblivion with that nonsense. You know, for a hidden cave, it's not very discreet. What with this huge wooden door on the front. This is cozy?
What do you think of my luxurious accommodations? It's got dirt and rock, fungus and a poultry fire, all the comforts of home.
Anyway, you said you had information about my brother, Oran. What did you find out?
I made my way into Lord Drano's townhouse and borrowed the house registry. From its latest entries, your brother Oran was stripped of his rank and exiled from tribunal lands.
No, that can't be right. Oran's honorable and noble. He's a model soldier. What could he have possibly done to warrant being banished?
Now you couldn't believe it either. I just so happened to come across Captain Briven right before I found you. When I questioned him about the exile, he mentioned that Oran chose to protect an Ashlander, and in so doing, had to kill one of his own soldiers.
What? My brother has always been interested in the Ashlanders. Even showed them a kindness the rest of the house doesn't approve of. But for him to kill someone, especially one of his own soldiers, something terrible must have happened.
It sounds as if we need to hear the story from all sides. I propose we track down the Ashlanders and get the recollection of the events directly from their mouths. Any idea where we might find them?
I know the tribe that Oran liked to help. Brought them supplies and such. He'd go and visit their camp whenever our father wasn't paying attention. Will you go with me to talk to them? Wait, someone's coming.
Quick, get behind me. I'll keep you safe.
She can handle herself just fine, hero. Veya, grab your things. It's time to go.
Go? Why? What's going on?
The Warclaws are marching toward this cave along with half the House Redoran soldiers in Balmora. We need to go now.
Damn it! They must have followed us. I'll get my stuff.
Dealing with an arrogant, impatient, overconfident young woman. Now I know how my mother must have felt. We need to move. It won't take those damn cats long to find this place, not with their sense of smell.
Got to count ourselves lucky you were able to get here before they had. Impeccable timing. Obviously the front door isn't an option. Is there another way out of this cave?
The back tunnels. Better than heading out the front door and right into the main contingent of Redoran troops. Councillor Eris brought additional soldiers from town. He's intent on getting his daughter, and he may have the numbers to do it.
I told Eris to let me handle it, but Captain Briven must have stirred him up again. We better get moving before they come barging through that door.
One more thing. The back tunnels wind their way through territory that House Redoran recently acquired. We may run into some resistance, but it shouldn't be as bad as what's waiting outside the front of the cave.
I've dealt with worse. Although if it can be managed, I'll try to keep my blade sheathed to avoid drawing any unwanted attention. Alright, Veya, follow me through the back tunnels. I'm certain they will be all along the main path, so we might be better off finding an alternative route through these caves. Perhaps through here. Oh good, infested with dreg. You have excellent form. Now who has taught you well with those axes?
This looks promising. Let's give it a try.
It's a bit wet for my taste, but sure, it's promising. Watch those claws, they have a nasty bite to them. Let's flank this one. I see a light up ahead, just past this drag. Look there, up ahead. A ladder.
That must be the way out. I just hope there aren't any Redderans up there. Oh no, we're surrounded! And that's my father! What's he doing here?
Sweep the caves. If you spot Veya, report back to me. She's not to be harmed.
I prefer that you don't harm the agents I hired either. There is no need for bloodshed.
This is most unfortunate.
Father ruins everything. I'm so close to finding my brother and he shows up to drag me back home. Well, I'm not going back without a fight.
Let's try an approach that doesn't result in someone getting killed. I can cause a distraction to give you an opportunity to sneak away.
You do that for me? Thanks, I guess. But what can you possibly do against all those soldiers? My father brought the whole damn army with him this time.
Oh, I don't fear any hostility from your father. Remember, he did hire me. All I would need to do is give him a report on my progress in finding you, and it should do the trick.
Clever. Tell my father whatever he wants to hear. That might actually work. Afterward, meet me at the Ashlander camp to the south. My brother would often visit that particular tribe. It's as good a place as any to start.
Noted. I will head that way once I have calmed this company. I do have to ask, once you have confirmed your brother still lives, will you finally meet with your father?
Once I find Ulran and make sure he's alright, I'll meet with my father. But that meeting will be on my terms, not his. And tell him to call off his soldiers, or I might change my mind. That should buy us some time.
Of course. I will relay the message. Remember, wait for me to get his attention and sneak off.
Halt! Who goes there?
Stand down. These outlanders work for me.
Greetings, Councillor Eris. Captain Briven. Surprised to see you out here.
The captain reported that he had seen you in the area. There are also multiple reports that Veya has been spotted. Tell me, have you seen my daughter? I won't sleep well until she's home, safe and sound.
I have indeed seen and spoke with Veya. I do have a concern about our agreement with you calling off this search. No longer using any other outsiders to search for her?
I also said that the captain has his own resources. The war claws report to Briven, not me. Look, we're all just trying to get my daughter home safely. Now, tell me what Veya's thinking.
I understand you are worried, but brute force isn't going to produce results. Not with Veya. When I asked, she agreed that she would meet with you, but it must be on her own terms. That could have been sooner, but the presence of all these soldiers caused Veya to flee.
It was a gamble, I admit. An opportunity I couldn't let slip away. You won't make me feel guilty about trying to find my daughter. So, where and when will Veya meet with me?
I would say soon. Veya asked me to assist her with one final task before she is ready to offer her terms of a meeting. Until then...
Very well. We'll do this her way. Veya can be as stubborn as her mother sometimes. But tell my daughter that my patience won't last forever. Next time, I expect Veya to be with you. Or I might just let Captain Briven do this his way.
Of course, Counselor. I will let her know when next we meet. So, would you mind calling off these soldiers so that I might get to it?
Do as I command, and let them pass. I'm trusting you to make this right, Outlander. I may have lost my son, but I refuse to lose my daughter.
Stubborn as her mother, he says. Stubborn as the whole blasted family, himself included. There is little trust amongst these families, and the skepticism runs deep for us Dunmer. Still, if he would just stand aside, he would find that he would get what he wanted sooner. Overbearing and suffocating, especially due to duty. Just like my father. Now, to catch up with Veya at the Ashlander camps.